If you're lucky enough to have Matt Damon as a dad, then there's a pretty good chance that you're going to meet your musical idols, among many other perks and privileges. In 2005, Matt Damon married his wife Luciana Barroso, making him a stepfather to her daughter Alexia, who was born in 1998. Then in 2006, 2008, and 2010, they welcomed their daughters Isabella, Gia, and Stella, respectively. Damon has long advocated for changes with the American education system so that parents don't have to pay exorbitant amounts of money for the best schools. But this stance has been somewhat controversial in light of the fact that his daughters attend private school. In a 2013 interview with The Guardian, Damon described this as essentially a last-ditch effort to get them the education that they deserve. As he put it, "Sending our kids and my family to private school was a big deal. I mean, I pay for a private education, and I'm trying to get the one that most matches the public education that I had, but that kind of progressive education no longer exists in the public system. It's unfair." Damon hoped that his kids would attend St. Anne's in the Brooklyn neighborhood of Brooklyn Heights, but they didn't get in. However, they were able to attend the Brooklyn Friends School, where K-12 tuition hovers around $62,750. Isabella graduated from there in 2024. Attending your first concert is a pretty big deal. It can set the tone for what type of music fan you are for the rest of your life. And if you have a dad like Matt Damon, well, chances are pretty high that you have access to some pretty iconic musicians. But with great power comes great responsibility. Sure, Damon and his wife can take their daughters to see some of the most iconic rock stars of all time, but how can their future concert experiences possibly live up to that? As it turns out, that dilemma is not merely hypothetical. When Damon stopped by The Tonight Show in 2016, he talked about the time that he and his wife saw Prince in London and brought along a 10-year-old Alexia, and they were actually sitting so close that they could literally reach out and touch the singer. Anyone who was lucky enough to see the Purple One in concert before he died was obviously blessed. But Damon quickly realized a downside to the moment. As he put it, "The people with Prince put us literally next to the stage. We could reach up and touch Prince. And I turned to my wife and I said, we've completely ruined this child. This is her first concert."
Some poor guy, and like she's gonna get to college and he's gonna be like, "I got concert tickets," and she's gonna be like, "When do we meet Prince?" I mean,
In addition to his showbiz career, Damon is a devoted activist, and he expects his kids to follow in his footsteps. In a 2008 interview with People, he revealed that his daughters have often been with him when he travels for his charitable obligations. As he explained, "The way you have to parent them is to show them the world. Explaining the world can only go so far. You can read about devastation every morning. It's on the front page of the newspaper, but when you actually go there and see it, you realize this isn't something you can turn the page on." While filming the movie Invictus in South Africa, Damon got to meet former South African President Nelson Mandela, and his kids were lucky enough to tag along. During an appearance on Anderson Cooper's talk show, Anderson Live, Damon revealed how two of his girls felt especially drawn to the civil rights icon. As he recounted, Gia was about 8 months, and Isabella was 2. And the most incredible part of the whole experience was we were waiting in the hallway to be ushered in to have our few minutes with him, and I was holding Isabella, and she said to me, "Daddy, who's behind that door?"
and we walked in, and neither of the two little ones took their eyes off him, particularly Gia, who was 8 months old at the time.
Children of celebrities generally have two choices when they grow up: follow in their parents' famous footsteps or stray as far away from them as possible. As for Alexia Barroso, it sounds like showbiz was somewhat enticing to her, but not completely. While we probably won't see her lighting up screens all the time like her dad anytime soon, she did show up in his 2011 film We Bought a Zoo. Based on a true story, the film follows a father played by Damon who moves to California with his 2 kids in search of a new life. He ends up pouring his money into renovating a failing zoo, hence the title. Damon's co-stars include Scarlett Johansson, Thomas Hayden Church, Elle Fanning, various animals, and in a small cameo, Alexia as a staff member at the zoo handing out brochures to visiting families. With her first acting gig under her belt, Alexia was seemingly all set to collaborate on screen with her dad more and more in the future, but it appears that she actually had different plans, although she didn't abandon entertainment completely. While attending college at the New School in New York City, she developed a passion for cinematography, and since then, she's been able to get some valuable hands-on experience. According to Alexia's LinkedIn profile, her first gig was with Apple TV, where she worked full-time as a camera trainee. She'd later do the same at Amazon Studios in 2021. She's since gone on to work at other major companies like Netflix and Paramount Pictures. She's also juggled her full-time jobs with freelance work as a photographer, which she showcases on her website and Instagram. Alexia has also been the cinematographer on a couple of short films, and she's worked on some of her dad's projects, including 2021's The Last Duel and 2024's The Instigators. Perhaps the most notable credit on her resume thus far is her work with York and Wilder Productions, where she's been a camera operator and a media manager for the podcast Pants on Fire. Despite Matt Damon's grounded approach to parenting, he'll sometimes go above and beyond for special occasions. His connections with other famous people have made that easy to pull off, but it also means that he may have ruined all future Christmases for one of his daughters by giving her a gift that was just too perfect. During a 2021 interview with journalist Tara Hitchcock while promoting his movie Stillwater, Damon mentioned that Isabella is a die-hard Harry Styles fan. Then he revealed that he and his wife put together a holiday surprise that probably put them in the running for Parents of the Year. It started off with a life-size cardboard cutout of Styles, and then it got even better from there.
Harry Styles did a little video and said hello to her, and she lost her mind.
Damon wondered if he could ever top himself, but he somehow did by taking Isabella to see Styles at Madison Square Garden that same year.
It's like I'm forever grateful to him. I really owe him one. I don't know how I would ever repay or what I could possibly repay with, but that was pretty cool.
Matt Damon clearly loves to travel with his family in both good times and bad, and they ended up having a unique life experience during a time of terrible uncertainty. During an October 2021 appearance on The Tonight Show, Damon revealed that they spent the entirety of the COVID-19 pandemic in Ireland because he was shooting The Last Duel there. When it was clear that filming was going to be delayed, they decided to stay in the Emerald Isle. As he recalled, "My family and I, we just took a vote and we decided to stay, and it was a great decision. We had a great time there and just got absorbed into this beautiful little community there." Damon even let his daughters dye his hair red and give him a mohawk on the night that he FaceTimed with the mayor of the village of Dalkey. Then, when Damon stopped by The Late Show in 2024, he revealed that they also lived fairly close to U2 frontman Bono during this time.
I got locked down with my family like a quarter mile from his house. And so
Walking distance,
a staggering distance.
Another foreign country that the Damon family is lucky enough to call home is Australia, which they visit every year. It's been a tradition of theirs ever since Damon's father passed away. As he revealed to News.com in 2024, "After my dad died, we moved down there for 4 months and just went and camped all over the place. I think because maybe he had never been, and it just felt like a place to go to make memories with my kids. Then every year, we would return. Even back during the pandemic, we were down there for about 6 months, and it's just like a second home to us." The family's Australian expeditions have been memorable, but also a little dangerous. On the one hand, it's allowed them to grow close with Australian actor Chris Hemsworth, but on the other hand, there was that one time that Stella got stung by a jellyfish, although at least Hemsworth was there to offer support. As Damon recounted on the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2017, "It was the worst thing. I mean, even Chris said, he was like, 'Mate, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.' Like, it was really bad." Matt Damon is famously best buds with Ben Affleck, but that's not his only close Hollywood friendship. He even has friends who didn't grow up in Massachusetts, and at least one of them is from a completely different country. He and Emily Blunt first met in 2011 when they co-starred in the sci-fi romance flick The Adjustment Bureau, and they've remained close since, so much so that his daughters have a tight bond with her daughters, Hazel and Violet Krasinski, whose father is Office star John Krasinski. Damon and Blunt co-starred again in the 2023 Best Picture-winning Oppenheimer, and during the promo tour, they got to talking about their respective children and how much they hang out with each other.
Matt's children are older than mine, and they are so patient and sweet with our little ones.
Damon also noted that his youngest daughter Stella particularly enjoys her time with the Krasinski girls because it allows her to play the big sister role.
My youngest loves to look after her two kids because she gets to be the oldest, right? And she never gets that, so it's nice.
And Blunt had nothing but love for the Damon girls.
She's awesome.
I love that.
And Gia too is amazing.
Gia too, yeah.
When it comes right down to it, Matt Damon's daughters all lead relatively private lives, especially compared to their movie star dad. Occasionally, though, they can be spotted out and about in public, including in September 2024 when Alexia joined her parents for the opening of the flagship store of the fashion brand Luisa Via Roma. But the most likely place to spot the girls in public is at their dad's movie premieres. For example, the July 2024 New York City premiere of The Instigators was a true family affair, with Damon, his wife, and all 4 of his daughters in attendance. Making The Instigators was also a family project, as Damon's wife Luciana served as one of the executive producers. According to her IMDb page, it was actually the first EP credit of her career. Plus, their daughter supported them by visiting the set while the movie was shooting in Massachusetts. Furthermore, some friends of Damon's who are as close as family were also involved in the project, with Casey Affleck co-starring and co-writing, and Ben Affleck serving as a producer. During the premiere, Damon chatted with Access Hollywood about how special this moment was for the whole family.
I think this is the biggest premiere as a family that we've done. I can't remember when we had this many family members, so it's pretty cool.